Hey y'all, I want to talk about Inspector Schmidt of Bavarian Tale by Active Fungus Studios. That's a heck of a name. This is a game that's a single player, um, detective RPG sort of experience. And the voiceover tends to have a bit of an accent to it. But then there'll be the dialogue on the text you can read that matches and doesn't always quite match. But that's part of its charm. The way the characters are kind of strange and weird. You're going in as a sort of like priest detective trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this town. You're doing these weird missions where you're like collecting mushrooms for a kid. You do kind of absurd stuff to scare these town folks to get out of the way so you get on to the next place. And then the dialogue is a mix of a bunch of different stuff. It's you doing a chat dialogue where it's, in game and the characters will talk to each other, but then sometimes there's dialogue where it just shows like a drawing of the character and it shows what they're saying, which is kind of cool. It mixes a variety of like concept art drawings as well as game, character interactions. And I thought that was really cool. And you go around this town, you're collecting a lot of different things. There's a sort of, you don't expect this too much this time game, but there's a sort of, a Third Eye Assassin's Creed sensor sort of thing where you're hit a button down and it kind of senses certain items that you couldn't sense otherwise. It's an interesting choice of items they use, because you can sense to find where these sticks are, and it's harder to really find without it, or the game will register it unless you do it. So you're going around collecting all this stuff, and then you have a button that you can use to hit the inventory. I did it on PC. So it's, the I button or tab or what have you. And then you bring it up, and then you actually do have skills that you can level up. You can level up your charisma, how good you are at convincing people to give you information, that sort of thing. And probably the best part of this game is, besides the characters being really charming, is the fighting. So you do fight in this game, which is a weird thing to do as this guy dressed like a priest. But it's great because it's you can do fist fighting. And just the way the controls on it work really wonky. But it's you hold this button down and then you just start punching these people. But this awesome music starts. This weirdly cheerful, kind of hype, sort of dilly-dally music. That's the best way I can describe it. Pops up. It's almost like you're in a little circus of sorts. This bizarre music pops up when you get into these fights and you're fighting people, and it's so strange that you just kind of stick with this vibe. And the music in general is really cool. Even going into the town, you have this, really strange background music that's related to the setting of the game, and it's really cool just hearing the music, because you don't know what you're gonna hear next. You don't know what these characters are gonna say or gonna talk about. You do have certain side quests that you can do. You have some quests that lead you to help you get through other quests. And yeah, you can kind of roam around and see different things. There's night and there's day. Yeah, and it's just, there's nothing quite like it that I've ever played. And again, it's one of those that's really rough around the edges when you look at it and you're like, oh, this game is not going to be the best. But then once you just get through the initial hump of it, give it some time, give it a little love, and you're gonna be really charmed by it. I highly recommend people check this out, because it's a unique detective RPG experience, and there's nothing else really out like it right now.